This is nice.
Okay, where should I sit? Should I sit at this one?
Yeah, sit
Or
at this
should I
one.
sit-
Or yeah, here. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome back to episode 3.
Of Onwards and Upwards with Finn and Anna.
Yippee!
And Anna.
For our third episode,
Finn.
we are speaking to you from
Speaking to you.
park in Campbell. You should put like clapping there.
Yeah.
When you edit it. Or like a neigh. Like a whoa! You know the horse noise? What noise does the horse make? Neigh!
We just had breakfast at
Intra.
and it was
Yummy. Got the chimichanga jaffles with chipotle mayo.
Yeah, the chipotle mayo was actually really nice. It was nice.
It was really nice, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well.
This is such an awkward position to be sitting.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of sliding a little bit. We're going to do 2 different scene changes today because
So 3 locations altogether.
Yeah. There's some places to explore around here, but there are also many children at the moment in the spots where we want to go, which is like not ideal, you know?
Yeah, there are little kids everywhere. You think it'd be kind of chill on a Monday, but it's not.
Because it's public
Well, I
holiday.
guess they're toddlers. It's not like
They have anything else to
on a
do.
Monday.
Yeah.
It's early in the morning. It's not. It's like maybe past
It's 11
a.m.
Yeah. But, you know, we've been at it for a while.
We have. Ever since 9:30, and even later than 9:30 because my credit ran out and Anna tried to contact me.
And we're also like, it took us a while to get these microphones connected.
Every single fucking time.
I'm worried about these things, man. I'm worried about them.
They're not
I
good for
don't
you.
know how much juice they have left
How much
in them.
juice they have left.
I don't know how much time we have left with these mini microphones, so savor this sound quality while you can, because I know it's
Lock it
good.
away in your little memory box.
But we've got a few topics that we want to kind of get through today. What did you want to start off with?
What did we? Oh, I feel like we should.
Ease in.
I think we should ease in, not go in head first.
Yeah.
What we had 2. Okay, first topic, Dune 2. Not a very great topic to discuss in the podcast, as I'm the only one who has seen Dune.
I haven't seen either of the Dune movies.
But I went and saw Dune the other day, and my overall takeaway is that Austin Butler is really, really attractive as a weird alien guy.
I disagree, but
I don't know why it took like
him
a
having
bald
no
cap
eyebrows and no
black
teeth.
teeth for me to be like, oh. But that
In the
did
book,
it.
apparently he has hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
That's what I've been
Now I think
told
Austin
by the TikTok.
Austin Buster should be bald. I don't know. He was really great in Elvis. His method acting was questionable.
Yeah. Was a little bit. I haven't really formed any opinions of
Just
Austin
so
Butler,
bad.
if I'm completely honest, because I did watch Elvis, and I feel like I have seen him in, he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Is he?
Yeah. He's like one of the cult people.
He's one of the hippies. Is he really?
Yeah, he's one of the hippies. I only just remembered that today. And he looks like really sweaty, and he's got black hair, and he looks very greasy, and you know.
Really? I don't remember that at all. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a really underrated movie.
It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but it is. I did watch it. Yeah. I don't really remember what happens in that movie. I just like know that at the end it's like Charles Manson's little guys.
Yeah, it's real. I think it's really good to watch. Once without having researched the Tate family drama, and then watching it again after indulging in the Tate family drama is really interesting. But also, I like to be honest, I think you should just watch it having the knowledge of the Tate family drama because that just I think that's the point of the whole movie is the fact that everything lines up to happen and then it just doesn't. And it's really cool because the whole movie you're like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. We're gonna see the Tate murders, and then it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
fucking great. It's such a great diversion. Like, oh, I fucking adored that. And my sunglasses, these very sunglasses are the exact same sunglasses that Brad Pitt wore in Once Upon a Time in
Really?
Hollywood.
The Tom Ford
Yeah,
ones?
these are the exact same
Damn!
ones.
The more
There's
you
two different pairs.
know.
He wears one pair that have a thin frame and have that little bridge in the middle. I forget what it's called. And then there's these.
Oh, the like aviator ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to be telling you the story of how I bought these glasses. So I was in Copenhagen almost a year ago, and we met this really cool guy who owned a little pop-up store. I forget what street it was on, but it was across the road from this really like exotic perfume store. Like, you know, when you walk in
Ooh.
and they've got all these really cool bottles and they're like, yes, this one smells like
Sweat.
feces
Oh.
and cumin. And I'm like, oh, yes.
Who hasn't wanted to smell like sheep feces and cumin before?
It was really fun. There was one that was like labeled to smell like dildos, and I just like
Kind of like plasticky and like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Really interesting.
Silicone and
Silicone
like
and
pussy juice.
Yeah, pheromones.
Oh,
Silicone
true.
and pheromones.
That sounds actually like a cool. You know how they have perfumes that like this smells like piss.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, that was one of those stores.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides the point, we go into this little underground store. This guy's like, you must be Australian. And we were like, yes, we are. We are Australian. And he was like, so am I. This is my pop-up store. And we were like,
Oh my god, slay.
celebrate. And then he gave us water because we were really thirsty. He gave us really yummy Copenhagen bottled water, which probably cost $10 because Copenhagen.
Damn.
Copenhagen. But I saw these glasses sitting on the counter and I was like, ooh.
What are
Let me
those?
try on these, please. I tried them on and I was like, wow, these are so fabulous. And it was the beginning of my Europe trip, and so I kind of set like a standard for myself, which was only purchase one expensive object per country. Dumb decision. Anyway, so he had these. He told me the story like about the whole Brad Pitt thing, etc. And then he was like, yeah, these are like fucking amazing. These are fucking amazing glasses. And I was like, I know, I love them. And I don't own sunglasses because I don't like how glasses look on my face. Then something changed inside me. And he was like, yeah, look, I'll give them to you for, I think, $260. And I was like, ah,
damn,
steal.
That is a steal. Well, how much were they originally?
We'll get to that part of the story. So I was like, oh, I'm going to put these on hold. They're really cool. I'll let you know because this is the start of my shopping day and I want to explore. Later in the day, I found an Issey Miyake. No, sorry, not Issey Miyake. I found a Yohji Yamamoto Y3, like the Adidas collaboration top. And I ended up buying that top. And I love that top. I love that top very much. But because I bought that top, I didn't buy the sunglasses. And I swear to God, for the next 2 months, all I thought about were these sunglasses. I thought about them every single fucking day. And I searched everywhere trying to find these glasses. And I was so disappointed. I was so regretful. I ended up trying to contact the guy and the store, but because it was a pop-up, I couldn't find any details at all. It was so heartbreaking. I was devastated. And so after countries and countries, we were in Portugal and I walked into a sunglass hut and I was like, guys, do you have the Chelsea frame? Do you have the Tom Ford Chelsea frame in brown? And they were like, we do.
Slay.
That'll be $510, please. And I said, oh my God, I'll take them because I had not found them anywhere else, and so I bought them. But I got what's the travelers, like the tax?
Oh, duty free.
Duty free, yeah. I got them duty free, and you know what? I do not regret that one single bit. I love these glasses so fucking much. But they're definitely the most expensive accessory. I haven't even bought jewelry that cost me like $500.
That's fucked up. I think the most
Yeah.
expensive thing I've ever bought for myself was my ADHD diagnosis.
Oh, well, for thinking about things like that, yeah, maybe similar price range. Far out.
Yeah,
Mental health system is so evil.
it's very expensive. It's very expensive to me.
To be mentally unwell.
Yeah,
Or at least mentally
neurodivergent.
unwell.
Oh well, what can you do? What can you do?
Can you do?
Slay. Well, yeah.
Sunglasses.
I do remember you messaging and being very, very emotional that you hadn't bought those sunglasses. And then very emotional when you finally found them again.
It was great. Then I wore them all day with an outfit that did not correlate. Correlate? Did not correlate in any way.
And look, here we are now.
Here we are now, and I wear these sunglasses on top of the wibbly wobbly statue.
The wibbly wobbly statue.
Campbell.
Yeah.
In Campbell. Anyway, we were talking about Dune 2.
Dune 2.
I fell asleep in the cinema again. I fell asleep in the cinema in the first one because all you hear is and there's like orange everywhere, and I'm like, oh,
so relaxing.
Bedtime. And I did that again this time, but not for as long as last time. But yeah, man, they'd be teasing Anya Taylor-Joy, like
she's pop up.
But yeah, good movie. Good movie. Yeah? I was impressed. I like the Dune remakes.
Yeah, I think it is just when it comes disconnected a little bit. Oh,
we're back.
Lying down is so good. Oh.
Okay. Guys, some days as a podcaster just aren't as beautiful as others.
We've had so
much we show the media.
Yeah, we've had some real technical difficulties today in bringing this podcast to you. I won't even get into it because it's too emotionally taxing for me to talk about.
We started filming at like 11 o'clock. What time is it right now?
It is currently 11:47.
And we have 10 minutes of footage.
Alright, 10 minutes and like 30 seconds. Anyway, as you can see, or as you can't see because you're listening to this, we have migrated to a different area and now we are lying down because, you know, it's just...
we tried to sit on them and
it was just uncomfortable.
These like weird lumps on the ground and they are uncomfortable.
But they're kind of good because they're like cracking your back when you lie on them.
My back.
Oh, nice. Really good.
I need like a head cushion though.
Anyway, our main sort of like topic for today.
We're coming back to revenge.
We're calling it Attack Revenge.
I'll bleep it out.
But basically, in this genre of movies, it's basically a very formulaic. Normally, it's a woman is attacked. Normally, she is a very conventionally attractive woman.
Like, your classic is just like long hair. Big, long, voluminous hair. And obviously, she has to be really skinny.
Yeah.
And yeah, must have really good legs. Vital for an attack revenge movie.
Yeah. And then there is an attack, which is kind of like the catalyst of the film for this woman to then become like kind of like the hero of the story, find these men.
Yep, and the only reason
kill them.
Relevant is because of the attack.
Yeah. And normally the attack scene very long. I've noticed a trend.
I've noticed a trend that the attack scene.
It's very long, and some people think that that's gratuitous. Other people are like cutting it out or making it shorter would soften the blow too much, if that makes sense, and like, you know.
Yeah, I guess the point of the movie is to like have that scene and for the blow not to be softened because it's such an intense scenario, blah, 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 and, like, that's the reason she gets so angry, but also, like, the point of the movie is her being angry, not the actual event that happened. And obviously,
Attack.
Revenge comes from, like, a place in which some fuckwit was like,
I'd love to see that on the big screen. And okay, what makes it kind of just like a little bit, I mean, it makes it kind of much iffier in my mind, is that a lot of the time it's men directing these movies.
Yeah.
Which is just like, it rubs me the wrong way.
The more I think about it, it just makes me so angry.
Because a man was like, this is a story that I want to tell. Man. And okay.
Oh my god.
I know that they're like, obviously, yeah.
It makes me so angry.
I know there are two sides to this story where it's like, okay, some people might not like this genre, they might find it distasteful, and I feel like I fall into that category, so I guess I'm a little bit biased coming at this and being like,
fall into that category as well.
I get that there's some kind of like, people have talked about how like watching these movies for like victims can be cathartic for some people, and I'm like, I don't want to like be like, no, that's not right, blah blah blah, because like each person's experience is their own experience. I'm not gonna like invalidate that.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, it's just the fact that like a dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this movie. Out of all the different movies I could make, I'm making this one. And I'm gonna direct this scene.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it really long.
Really intense and really disgusting.
And really graphic and really long.
And
like
just the fact that some guy is sitting behind that camera being
like, oh yeah.
like this. Like, oh, that's fucking atrocious to me. Like, directing how a woman should act in a attack scene.
It's just like,
oh, it makes me so angry.
It's just a little bit, I mean, I keep saying a little bit iffy. It's a very iffy. And like, okay, so one of the movies that we were discussing is, which falls into this genre. What are we looking at? Oh my god! A bug! There's a bug over there! Can praying mantises hurt you?
They can jump.
Oh damn. Whoa. He lunged at me. Hello, sir.
So, what do you think of Attack Revenge?
What are you listening to? What are you listening to? I'm listening to Buffalo Replace by Mitski. Whoa. I got a bug on my hand. So he isn't filming the podcast with us. That could have been our first guest.
Yeah, next one we should do a guest.
Yeah. Would you guys like that, a guest? Reply.
Guys, comment down below who you would like to be on our next episode.
We can get anyone.
We can get anyone you want.
Literally anyone, dead or alive.
You know, we should be like, today we have Rihanna, and it's just like Abbey in a wig.
It's Hamish in a wig. We got Kanye. It's one of our friends doing blackface.
Felix it is.
We need to bleep that out. Okay.
We should totally do that. That's so funny. Like we should actually say we've got a celebrity on and just like it's like obviously like Felix speaking but answering like questions as if he is Rihanna. Like I think that would be so fucking funny.
That would be so silly.
The movie Revenge.
Yes, the movie Revenge came out in 2016 or 2017
by a French
female director.
Yes, and you said it was her debut, correct?
It was her directorial debut.
So this movie is, from my memory,
visually like stunning, very bright.
Oh yeah, like very, very gorgeous colors.
For a directorial debut. Damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
So from my memory in this movie, everything kicks off because she's like at this guy's place, like out in the desert.
He's on a hunting trip.
He's on a hunting trip.
He's on a hunt. Well, apparently she's his neighbor, and they're having an affair because he has like a wife and kids at home or whatever. She comes out with him to this property that he has like in the middle of the fucking desert, because they're having like a romantic getaway, and then his friends, two of his colleagues I think, come because they're there for a hunting trip.
You're right. All I remember is that there's this very specific pool scene. The night before, I think they have like a party before with his friends, and they all get super fucked up, and she's like, they're all really drunk.
And then he's like, keep this peyote in your locket. Peyote is like a psychedelic.
Yeah.
Like cactus or something.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it is
he's
cactus.
like, keep it in your locket so that like I don't take it or my friends don't take it or something. It's actually been a while since I've seen this movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually trying to recall everything. It's really difficult. But anyway, I think the next morning, the guy, they all go out, but two of them come back. The two friends come back.
The two friends come back, and the guy who she's there with is off doing something else. Like he's off. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's off doing something else, and he leaves her in the house alone with these two guys. And one of them, who thinks that she was like coming on to him the night before,
tries to approach her, and she's kind of like,
and she's really obviously like, no, like, and it's also super weird because it's like, this is someone who's here with one of your friends.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Why are you
doing?
approaching his interest?
Anyway, he gets violent because he's like, you were leading me on.
Testosterone!
Yeah. He gets
one of those
violent,
moments.
And then he attacks her. The other dude that's there walks in on this attack happening, and he's like eating like a chocolate. Or
he's literally just like chomping away on something.
Mouth. Like, I haven't seen this movie
disgusting.
in a while, but I remember like seeing that zoomed in shot and being like, ugh. Is that meant to be like a metaphor of what's happening in the room? I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't read into it that much. But anyway, he's like, well, that's above my pay grade. He walks out.
Yeah.
And then
fucked.
she gets like attacked, and he can hear like the whole thing happening.
And it's like
super
awful,
loud, super
awful,
long
like,
scene.
Screams.
Really graphic. I thought it was very graphic. I mean, everyone's got a different, I guess, threshold for that sort of thing. But when it comes to that kind of violence,
when it comes to attack revenge, personally, anything that involves attacking in like cinematic form is just disgusting to me, or in any form. But like when it's just done, I just can't stand it because it's so relevant and it's so real and it's so everywhere.
And like, I get it, you know what I mean? I like violent movies. Like, I'm a violent movie.
You gotta
person.
watch a head being chopped off.
I'm
but
that's
a
totally
few
fine.
times, like a good
There's
hacking,
just like stuff where I'm like, okay, I don't like seeing people's eyeballs get messed up, and I don't like attack scenes. Those make me just like, I get that it's like they're supposed to make you uncomfortable. Like, no one's watching those and being, I mean, no one in their right mind is watching those and being like, oh yeah, this is great. This is, oh hell yeah, brother. You know what I mean? No one's.
Yeah.
And then we'll see this and think, hell yeah, no one's like that. I mean, most people aren't like that. So I get that but the fact that there is an audience for those things who are like really into it. They're like a little bit too into it.
That's awful. Just, yeah, like, have you seen Mysterious Skin?
I haven't. That's one with that guy in it who was in that 70s show and 50/50.
Yeah, that's
and
a very
500 Days
intense.
of Summer.
Also a really beautifully, like, gorgeous colours. Like, oh man.
Gorgeous.
The colour grade. It is fucking beautiful, but that is a very hard movie to.
Yeah. That's why I haven't watched it, because I know it's like a hard watch.
Yeah, it is a hard watch.
I feel like because like Revenge was like also like super stylized.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I guess the whole movie is violent, but there's just like something else about that kind of violence that just makes it a lot more disturbing.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more disturbing because it's just so relevant, and I think what makes it more disturbing to the average viewer is because, I mean, it's happened to like 1/3 of the population, at least, that is documented.
Yeah, it's also just like the fact that like all of these movies, like the person being attacked, I mean, like in most of these movies the person being attacked is a woman, and like as a feminist I think we should have equal opportunity attack revenge films. There should be a 50-50 split.
Because in reality there is a 50-50 split. So
it's more like
attackists are attackists. They don't really care who they're attacking. They will just attack. I feel like I don't know what to cut out of this or what not to cut out of this.
No.
But this is what we talk about on this podcast.
We talk about real shit.
We talk about Melissa McCarthy's invisibility cloak and attack revenge
films. Yeah.
Attack revenge films. But yeah, I think what makes it so disastrous or just disgusting or
is that it's predominantly men directing these films, like we were saying.
And to an average viewer, like, you're watching something that is so people still don't pay enough attention to in the normal, just in reality, people are still so dismissive of
it's also
attack.
Like it kind of paints the situation as being like, this is what an attack looks like. It's this really pretty woman who's being attacked by this like kind of uggo,
because
like, yucky
she's
guy.
somehow misled him into thinking that she's he's attracted
and like
to her.
you as the viewer can be like, oh, she hasn't done anything to lead him on at all. She's just like an attractive lady doing like attractive lady things, and by attractive lady things it's just like her walking around or her like dancing to
literally
music,
just
you know
like
what I mean?
wearing an item of clothing.
Yeah. And this dude is going like, oh, that must mean that she wants me badly. And when she doesn't, it's very embarrassing for him. He's been rejected and he doesn't take that well. I feel like the biggest lesson to learn from this is learn how to take rejection. That's an important lesson. You need to be able to have enough self-esteem to be like, okay, this person's rejected me. That's all right. It's not the end of the world. I don't have to lash out. I don't have to do this or that. You know, I can just be chill. Like, calm down. So emotional. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean?
There's a couple that are definitely on their, like, maybe third date walking through the
What if they've
right
been
now.
together for 10 million years?
I don't know, they look like maybe 20.
So much talking.
And because they've done a loop, like, I feel like when you're on your first couple of dates, you, like, loop around the same area.
That's true.
You know, because you can't think of anything else to do other than talk.
And you, like, want the date to keep going.
So you just loop.
That's nice. Oh.
But yeah. I wonder?
Oh yeah, I just wonder what number date we're on, how things are going.
Maybe 4th. They're holding hands.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, some people are just hand-holdy people.
Not me.
I'm a hand-holdy person.
I need someone to, like, actually, like, ooh. Grab my hand. I need someone to grab my... I need someone to, like, actually, like, enforce, like, physical, like, comfort on me. Like, for me to actually be like, oh, I can reciprocate this now. And I think it comes from a place of me, like, being scared to make them uncomfortable. Like, I'll be like, oh, I would love to be physically affectionate, but I don't want to make you uncomfortable, so I'll let you make the first move. Anyway, off topic a little bit.
Yeah.
Off topic a lot.
Yeah.
So, anyway, brutal scene, really upsetting.
Yeah.
As
there's
any
a lot of violence.
revenge attack
If you're gonna watch this movie, just know that there's a lot of violence in this movie. I think it's R. I think it's rated R.
It is rated R.
Not? Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like
so
most of these
she
movies
like
are probably rated R.
she like runs away. I don't really remember how the scene ends.
She falls off a cliff.
She falls off a cliff, impales herself on a tree, pulls it out of her, and then eventually ends up doing all she needs to do to kill them at the end. As
Yeah.
all
She
those
takes
kind
the
of movies end.
peyote to like.
She
I
does.
think, cauterize her wound. She like makes a fire, and it's also like,
Yeah,
okay,
makes a
they don't
fire.
really explain why
She would have
she's
frozen
like
to death, but anyway.
why she knows how to do all of this stuff. Like, how does she know how to do all this stuff? Like, I'm just a regular little guy. If I fell off a cliff, impaled myself on a tree, I would just die. I would just die.
I think I'd also just die, because I like to think, well, I know exactly what I do. You should never pull something out of the wound. And then my brain's like, oh, I would just be like sad and scared.
Because how
I
does
wouldn't pull any. Like, I wouldn't do shit.
She somehow breaks the tree. She somehow breaks the tree that she's impaled herself on so that she can get up, and she still has the bit of tree that's impaled her inside her. Like, she doesn't pull herself off. Like, watched another movie recently, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Not in this genre at all. It is in the Nazi zombie genre. Good genre, in my opinion. Called Overlord. And there's a bit where this guy gets like stuck on a meat hook, and he pulls the meat. He lifts himself up using the chain that the meat hook is on. Lifts himself up and off this hook. What? Like, I would not. I would just die. I would just die.
Yeah.
Are you joking me? Like, I would just die.
Oh.
Who does that? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so when it comes to looking up, okay, so on most streaming services, the attack scene is cut out of attack revenge movies because it's actually too intense, and I think that's a great thing, because I don't think anyone should get credit for
The fact that the movie
creating
still makes
good
sense. Yeah.
attack scene.
And the fact that the movie still makes sense and like works without the attack scene either being that long or being in it altogether.
Like, says enough. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like anyone's gonna watch that kind of movie and be like, man, where was the attack scene?
Like, oh, we should have seen that. Because I get that there's like movies where it's like, oh, this movie's trying to make you uncomfortable for like this reason or whatever. But I feel like it does get to a point, at least in my mind, where I'm like, this is just a little bit too, we're getting a little too into this. We're maybe like enjoying this a little bit, you know what I mean?
A little too.
Where it's like, this isn't something that, like, I understand that like some people like, I'm putting this in because like this is what it actually looks like, but it's also like, okay, that's what it actually looks like sometimes, but like a lot of the time, like, this, it's kind of just like a caricature of like an attack.
Yeah, it's stereotypical.
Like, when most people get attacked, it's not by some random person, it's by someone
they know.
But yeah, that's why when police are investigating those crimes, they're always like, we've got to look into your partner. We've got to look into like your friends and that sort of thing.
Everyone they know. So
and
I just
like family.
Like, this is getting into the law system.
Wow.
Oh wait, okay, before we get into the law system, I was talking about reviews in regard to attack revenge movies, and the reviews are always so interesting, and they're just critiquing the most ridiculous things. They're like, she wouldn't have survived if she was impaled. And I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, I wouldn't have survived if I was impaled. I would have just died.
Like, do you know what you're watching? Like, you're watching an attack revenge movie. Do you really think this is gonna be like
the main focus?
Like a
And also,
realistic.
like, revenge was like very stylized, very like, I feel like that was just one of the thoughts in the back of my mind where I was like, how does she know how to do all of this? But if I was going out of my way to write a review, I wouldn't be like,
she wouldn't have survived.
I would have, actually, it doesn't really work like that. It doesn't really work like that. I'm like, realistically.
Fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. Anyway, have you ever read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
No, I haven't, but is it?
I haven't.
In that same...
I'm a bit. No,
I kind of know what happens because I've heard people talking about it before, and I've just been like, it's not the book for me.
This is what I've heard as well. So I don't remember specifically who it was. It may have been... Oh, I don't remember who it was, but somebody was telling me about it, and I was like, man, all I've heard for most of my life is being like, read the classics. Read Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, it's amazing. And then, like, as of recently, this guy, like, told me about it, and I was like, that's fucked up. And he was like, yeah, it is fucked up. It's dumb. It should not have the platform that it has. And I was like, yeah, apparently the movie's, like, obviously worse.
Yeah.
Obviously worse. But yeah, so this brings me into the topic of Murakami. Okay, Murakami. Everyone loves Murakami because he's a classic. I fucking hate that motherfucker. Have you read his books? Have you read his books? If you have read his books, sit in front of me and tell me that he, like, knows what a woman is. Like, this motherfucker is awful. I can't fucking stand him.
Aren't there just, like, bits where it's like, this lady walked past me. Instantly, I had an erection.
Yeah, like, literally shit like that. There's this one scene where he's talking about a girl that he's interested in and is saying, she has these tiny little tits that look just like my sister's when she was 12. And it's shit like that. Like, most of the time...
That's a weird
like,
thing to
you know,
say
you're
about...
reading books, and some things you read in books, you're like, oh, that's, like, okay, but you move on. I cannot look past the way this guy depicts, like, women and how they interact with men. Almost every single Murakami book is about a man, and the man is so fucking boring. The character is so fucking boring, and all that happens is he either saves a sick person, like he's either fucking a million women, or saving a poor sick girl who's waiting for him in the forest. I hate Norwegian Wood. I hate this city.
I haven't read a single Murakami book. I think Luke has read a lot of them.
I fucking hate Murakami.
And, like, I know some people are like, oh, there's, like, some bits where it's like, oh, this was, like, well written and this and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like the overwhelming consensus is, like, he has never seen a woman before. I think he's just, like...
I think he's just a really
He's just, like, watched
virgin.
a couple of movies and been like, okay, this is, like, what a woman does. This is how a woman acts. And now I'm just going to write about it extensively.
It's true. Obviously, a lot of different cultures view sex differently. Specifically Japan, but...
That age of consent, very young.
But still, like, that does not justify the just basic underlying sexism in all of his books. Like, I cannot fucking stand it. I read 3. I read the first one like, oh, Murakami, let's see what's going on. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then I read, I think, Killing Commendator, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And then I read one more, like, in hopes, and I was like, no, this sucks.
Yeah, I just like from reading little excerpts of it, I've just been like, I don't think I could get through a whole book of this. Like, the last book that I read in full, I think, was one of the Twilight books. And I got through all of the Twilight books, and I enjoyed them. I
never
liked
read
them.
Twilight.
I love Twilight, I'm gonna go home and probably reread it again, just because it's on my mind now. I love Twilight.
I think I was too much of a cocky person, like a cocky kid. Like, people would be
I
reading
was.
Twilight,
The first time I read Twilight was like maybe a couple of years ago. Because I was like 18 or something.
I read it when I was little, and I was like, this book is fucking ridiculous. I can't believe any of you read this book. Like, I was just an awful, just like, big-headed kid.
Yeah, I was kind of a little shit as a kid as well. I'd be like, I don't like all this stuff that other people like. I'm different. Like, I didn't like One Direction, and then I'd secretly be at home like, and that's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah, I was a big, like, Bieber hater.
Yeah,
I don't just pop stars, because my family never listened to pop, and so without indulging myself, I was like, I hate pop music. You guys listen to pop music? Ew!
I loved Lady Gaga, though.
Oh, okay, no, I have an exception for Rihanna and Lady Gaga. Then again, actually not even. I think I was like a Rihanna hater as well. And that's because I never had the opportunity to hear her because my parents would only listen to Triple J. I think the first time I ever listened to Rihanna was like at a birthday party when I was like 12 or 13 or something like that.
Now I'm kind of like not a Triple J hater, but like
boycott.
I just kind of like anytime that I tune into Triple J and I hear one of the presenters, I'm like,
Shut up!
I'm like, why do you say things like that? And it sounds mean. I know it sounds mean. And I know that they're not bad people. It's just I can't take it seriously. And I listen to very silly podcasts. I listen to stupid ass podcasts, just like two random nerdy guys talking about horror movies. That's the kind of podcast that I enjoy and I listen to. But I cannot stand the Triple J presenters. I cannot stand them. Maybe it's different now because it's been a while, but like...
They're too hip for me. I can't take them seriously when I listen because I know they're trying to appeal to a very direct, like, select audience.
And just like every year, Triple J's Hottest 100 rolls around. And every year, everyone's like, oh, like, I can't believe this person won the Triple J's Hottest 100. You voted! You voted for it! It's you! You're the problem! Like, if you didn't want... They're like, how come this American artist won? And I'm like, maybe it's because you voted for American artists. But it's also like, a popular song won the popular vote? What? Huh? And I'm like, it's also like, if you're gonna be this mad about it, because like I also kind of get it where I'm like, it'd be nicer if like a Australian artist won, because like it would just mean more to them, you know. It'd be nicer. It would be nicer.
Yeah, I think
it would just be nicer.
Close it off, like continue to keep it closed off to Australia, but also like maybe like only Australian artists. That would be really cool. But I also liked when they did the Triple J hottest, like a version Hottest 100. I thought that was really that was a fun idea. I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah, like, man, that's cool. But it's also like,
because there was so much appreciation for different artists in that. I thought that was like really fun. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just like, don't be surprised when like one of the most popular songs of the year wins Triple J's Hottest 100. I am usually shocked because I don't know most of the songs in the thingy.
No, same.
And then I'm like, oh, it's because I don't listen to Triple J. These are mostly songs that
are
play on Triple J and like appeal to people who vote for the Triple J's Hottest 100. And like, I'm listening to kind of like embarrassing stuff sometimes, and I'm too busy listening to my embarrassing stuff to listen to the Triple J stuff.
But then again, like, Team Jesus, guys, stop robbing them.
Vote for
if
you want Australian artists to win, then vote for Australian artists.
Vote for Sonic Reducer.
Exactly. Mr. Industry. Strawberry Prince. Finn the Giant.
Spouse.
Yippee!
Fuck me.
There's some children over there. I hope my praying mantis is okay. Oh my god. Finn, the swings are free. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. We've migrated again because the swings are free.
This is gonna be so... They do have backrest.
Oh yeah, I need to clip this on.
Okay, so I have a shopping addiction, as most of you would know. Anyone who's bothering to listen to this would know that I have a shopping addiction. Yes, I've been trying to budget because I'm traveling again in like 3 weeks or something, and then I'm like off to a different state, and so I'm like, okay, I've got to save, man. Like I've got to choose my priorities. Anyway, I was like writing in my portfolio like boop, 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 on my computer, and then I saw a photo of a specific someone. Yeah. Voldemort. And I was like, oh my god, I must buy these very expensive shirts that I saw in Depop this morning, and so I did.
Oh no. How much
And
were
as a
they?
result, I'll be eating tuna for the next week. Only tuna for the rest of the week.
Yeah, damn.
But yeah,
That's how it gets you though. You go, I need to be living better than this other person.
yeah, literally, I was like, I need to change. No, it's kind of just like, I don't know, like I feel so good watching money go out of your account.
You're like, woohoo.
And then like the big green tick when it's like approved or successful. I'm like, ooh, give me that sticker.
Oh
Give me
yeah,
that sticker.
baby.
I want the yes sticker.
Oh yeah, baby.
And the yes sticker happens to be my postal address on a parcel. Yes! It's so hot. I can't.
It is very warm.
Like we're having a very lazy Monday. I
Yeah,
feel out of topics. I feel like our conversation is not as hot as it was in episode 2.
that's true.
Episode 2 is really lit, guys. If you haven't listened to episode 2 of Onwards and Upwards, please go check it out.
Actually, one of the first topics that we put on the notes app was age gap relationships.
Oh, let us indulge.
This is a juicy
Let us
one.
indulge.
Let us indulge. Yeah. So, guys, what do you think about them? Tell me. Tell me. Send me a message or something. I don't know, because I want to know. I, think that age gap relationships are okay. I think that there is some kind of, criteria that they have to meet, though, or criteria that they have to not meet.
Or
for
things
them to
that they
be
have to
okay.
acknowledge before going into it.
Yeah. So, in a situation where, like, you're a dude who consistently dates women that are much younger than you in this situation, sorry, I think that's an issue. And I think that you're probably dating women younger than you consistently
For a very specific reason.
Because I think you like little girls. I'm coming in. Because I think that maybe that's a little bit predatory. I think that
Perhaps.
you need to have a little long, hard think about what's going on there, huh?
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 Yeah. You need to question that. If there's any kind of because being older than your partner can sometimes create a weird power imbalance where you're like, oh, because I'm older, I know more stuff and I'm smarter than you.
I'm more correct.
Yeah, and you'll be like, I know exactly how to live, and if you're going into it being like, I'm gonna mentor this younger person
then
than
you
me,
are going to fail.
if you're 20 and you're dating someone, you're out of school, you're out of college, you're either at uni or you're at work, and you're dating someone who's in college, I feel like that's kind of weird. I feel like that's kind of weird because you're at a different stage in your life.
Completely separate stage in your life. Just on two completely
especially if you're in the workforce and you're like, yep, gonna go pick up my girlfriend from college.
School.
Yeah,
Awful.
That's just kind of weird.
Check yourself.
You know what I mean?
Check yourself.
If you are only dating someone younger than you because people that are your age are not dating you because they're not going to put up with whatever type of bullshit that you are engaging in, you shouldn't be dating younger people. You shouldn't be dating at all. You should be working on yourself. How about that? That was a positive spin, I think, to that. That's my take on...
I think age gap relationships are a very complicated topic. Personally, I think when you are the younger person, you're very content with who you are, that you feel comfortable and confident enough to pursue something older, and what's the word? There's a specific word I'm looking for, because it's not a lack of something. Like it's not
You're
like a
young
weakness.
and you're full of
It's like
life.
it's like a you're just new. You're just a new,
Adventurous.
yeah. Like
Like,
you're more. You've got a lot more energy. You've got a lot more. I don't know. You're not as self-aware, whereas the older people are self-aware, and some older people take advantage of that, and some people are also just content with that, and that separates the evil people and the good people. You can be powerful and kind, and you can be powerful and evil.
so true.
You choose. But yeah, when age different relationships like split and people go to the younger partner and say, you should have known, I think is fucking ridiculous. I think doing that is a bad thing. I think doing that a bad thing is because these people are young and they don't like you can't predict something coming from someone who's so many years ahead of you. Like you can't predict of something you haven't learned yet.
Yeah, I think also like when people hear of like people in age gap relationships and they're like immediately worried for the younger person, I'm like, that's totally valid, because there are some really bad age gap relationships. But I feel like there's a right way and a wrong way to go about expressing that worry. If you're going to, I don't know, I guess it's tricky, because if like you had a friend that was in a relationship that wasn't good for them, I feel like sometimes when people are in those relationships, they're like too in them to realize that there's something wrong. Or like they know that there's something wrong, but they don't think it's as much of an issue as it looks like from the outside.
Yeah.
And like you don't want to undermine this person's like autonomy by being like, you don't know how to think for yourself. I have to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I have to tell you what to do, that kind of thing. Because obviously, like, not going to work. No one responds well to that. No one responds well to you being like, well, I don't think you should be allowed to date this person because they're older than you. Because at the end of the day, you're saying that to like an adult, even if they're like a younger adult. It's still like they're like silly or stupid for pursuing someone who's older than them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like if you're worried about, I guess it's like with any kind of dysfunctional relationship where you're like worried about one of your friends, you're like, I don't know how to handle this and I don't know how to go about helping them, but I know that they need help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting topic because people don't know how to help. Well, there's only so much you can do. That's the moral of the story. There is only so much you can fucking do. Like, no one can help someone out of a relationship
that they don't want to be helped out of as well. And it's also like, I'm dating someone that's older than me, and there have been people who have like kind of been very hostile about it. Not many people. There's only like a few people. But I feel like sometimes when people react badly to it, and they're people that like don't know, especially like me well, like they've never met me before, I am like on my moral high horse or whatever, and like I'm seeing this happening and it's not right and I'm gonna say something about it. They don't like come to me and ask me if I need help. They're just like yelling. Not even me. They tell like my partner that he's doing something wrong. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, if you're so worried about me, why am I not being involved in this conversation? Yeah, I'm like, hold on a minute. And it's also like, I don't know. I feel like it's, especially if it's someone that you've been friends with, and then you learn that they're dating someone like younger than them, is your first instinct to be like, oh, this person's a terrible person. Obviously, if they were like, oh, he's dating a 15-year-old, then you'll be like, okay, you've got to go to jail. You've got to go to jail. Please leave. Yeah. Arrest that man. Oh my god, you know what I've been thinking about? This is completely off topic. Citizens arrests. Imagine how funny it would be if I did a citizens arrest on someone. I was Googling it. So you're allowed to citizens arrest people.
Are you?
Yeah, you're allowed to citizens arrest people. If you see someone and you have like, in Australia, you're allowed to citizens arrest people. If you can see that they're doing something illegal or something that is like, you know, impacting the safety, like endangering the well-being of the people around them, you legally can detain these people. You can be like, I'm doing a citizen's arrest, and then like you somehow incapacitate them.
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to like punch them in the head.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of being like, you know, like holding their hands behind their back or something and being like, citizen's arrest. But imagine if that was like,
really?
Imagine if you were just like out in like the city one night doing something a little bit suspect in an alleyway. Maybe just like even peeing in an alleyway, because that's not allowed. Imagine if someone citizens arrested you. Just someone crash tackles you, yelling, citizens arrest. You know what I mean?
But surely they'd also get fined for like
Citizens arresting you? I think it's
not
probably
just
like
citizens arresting you, but actually like physically
like
attempting to
attacking you.
assault
Yeah, because like, how would you carry out a citizen's arrest is my main question.
Exactly.
It's like, do you just like crash tackle this person? Do you come up and go, hey man, I'd like to citizen's arrest you right now because I think you're doing something illegal. Because if someone's actually doing something illegal and you try to citizen's arrest them, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they're not gonna go down without a fight.
Yeah.
But what if it was just something really petty? Because like I get like the whole citizens arresting if it's like there's a guy like attacking people like out in public or whatever, because then you could be like, okay, I crash tackled this guy, it was self-defense because I thought that he was going to harm me or harm people around me.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That I feel like that stands up in a court of law as someone who's watched Law and Order SVU before. Anyway. But like if you see someone committing like a more kind of like petty non-violent crime, like you see someone vaping,
Yes.
or like you see someone buying a vape, citizens arrest. You crash tackling that person, or you just like kind of going like not letting them out
Yeah.
of like wherever you are just by like standing in their way. Yeah. But then like how does that work? I just want to see a citizen's arrest happen. I want to be a part of that citizen's arrest. I want to be a bystander while that's happening. And eventually one day I would like to perform my own citizen's arrest.
Eventually one day I would like to take the stage.
Yeah. But that's like my dream. To one day perform.
Like set up an opportunity.
Yeah. Be like, citizens arrest. But I want to like, this is my dream, right? So I'm like out in public somewhere, like in a shopping mall maybe, in a park like this.
In a park
this,
like this one?
This is the perfect place for me to do a citizen's arrest, I would say. And someone starts doing something illegal. I'm thinking it's like more violent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then it would kind of just be like there's more tension, there's more drama, you know what I mean? This person starts getting violent, or they start threatening someone with like a knife or something like that. And then I pop my head up and I go, citizens arrest, and I crash tackle this person. I go, call 000, as I say, call 911.
Call 911.
Call 911. Don't call 911 because I think they still like patch you.
They ain't gonna come.